we did what was right for Calgarians today. I still disagree with adding the 222 new plates. I think that was a mistake. But I will say that if you are a driver who does not have a plate and is not successful in the lottery for the 222 new plates, you now have new options. You are no longer an indentured servant of the brokerages. And if the drivers prefer to be indentured servants to the brokerages, they can do that. But if they don't, they now have options, and that's very, very important. It's good for consumers and it's good for drivers.
Why were you against releasing the 222?
It makes no sense to release the 222 new plates. If you're about to have 1,000 Uber drivers on the street, why would you dilute drivers' income even more? Releasing those new plates does one thing and one thing only. It provides $3.5 million in straight-up income to the 2 or 3 brokerages, and that's it. And I don't understand why council wanted to give them all that money out of the pockets of drivers who deserve to make a better income.
There was talk this morning of a busy holiday season. Is that shaping up? Like, given the economy, do you think there's going to be...
It's always busy anyway. It's always busy anyway. But Councillor Chu made a good point. In previous years, every Saturday in December, we would get huge complaints about not being able to get a ride home after your holiday Christmas party, and we have not seen that in the last year or two. That said, it's certainly busier. It'll be busier than today, and people will get better service if these new drivers are on the road.
Why not consider the system as a whole instead of working with TNCs to improve what's not working there? Why not do a whole review, wholesome, for everyone?
Well, in fact, we have done so. And over the last 6 years, we have radically changed the regulatory system for taxis into a data-driven regulatory system. And it's working really well in most places, but some tweaks were needed. And I will agree, I will say again, that despite all the Sturm und Drang, despite all the drama about it, the bylaw changes we made today were very, very minor. All because it's the same amount of money, it's just collected in a different way. Instead of a flat rate at the beginning, we collect it over the course of a year. This is a very small thing. And it is a thing, however, with all the other safety regulations in place that were important, it should allow more drivers in place, particularly on those busy times, and I think that's a good thing. The challenge with the 222 new plates is those drivers will need to work full time, as opposed to TNC drivers who largely only work during times of peak demand when the taxi drivers are busy anyway. That's the other reason it didn't make sense to release the new plates.
You had said the February changes put drivers at a bit of a disadvantage. Why no amendments to fix that other than, standing up for not releasing those plates?
Well, I think the first and most important thing to do is to stand up for not releasing the new plates. I will be very, very interested to see what happens to stand rents. If they don't go down as a result of demand from new entrants, then I will be asking administration if we should start regulating those rents. Stand rents are the amounts that the drivers pay to the brokerage. They can be $300 or more a week. They are the largest expense that the drivers pay, and frankly, when the brokerages reduced the rates that customers pay, I did not see a commensurate reduction in the stand rents.
What did you think of Councillor Sutherland's question, though, that Council didn't direct administration to make these changes, to do the negotiations?
It was a funny question, actually, because, of course, I would hope administration actually does work. And every day. And Mr. Justin correctly said we are always improving the system. We're always working with all the brokerages to improve the system. We also didn't direct 222 new plates be released. So the point being that this work always goes on, and I don't know what Councillor Sullivan was getting at.
So you made some more football bets and you lost again. Are you a bad luck charm for these teams?
That was really mean. I am a huge football fan. Anybody who knows me knows that I love Canadian football, and in particular, for many, many years, I've been the #1 fan of the University of Calgary Dinos football team, even when it felt like I might be the only one. And I got to tell you, both of these games ended with the wrong results, but they were amazing games, and both of them reminded me, and I hope everybody, about what a great game Canadian football is. And if I could just talk about the Vanier Cup for a second, Calgary should not have done as well as they did. In fact, both games were a story of an underdog. And the fact that they held the lead through almost the entire game, they were there to play, they were there to fight. I am very, very proud of that Dinos football team. And of course, I'm not done yet. Il y a toujours plus. And of course, the Calgary Stampeders, had a season for the history books. I heard Pinball Clemens calling them one of the greatest teams in CFL history. But he also said the greatest team in history also has to have a great 3 hours. And, unfortunately, the result was wrong, but I am very, very proud of that season, of all the thrills of this season. And Levi Mitchell and the team did us proud.
When are you going to deliver on the bed version?
I don't know. It's up to the other mayors to send over the jerseys and the poems. I think they need some time to write. I understand that Mayor Watson has gone out to the people of Ottawa to look for a rhyme with Nenshi. So we'll see how he does there. But I'll make those food bank donations, and I encourage everyone else to donate both to your local food banks and to the food banks of your friends in the cities that win. And then I will have to go into my closet where there are many jerseys and put on some more jerseys.
There's a report out today about the city manager spending $80,000 for a Disney training course. Do you have any thoughts?
No. I mean, the city manager manages the city. That's his job. And if we are going to look at every single training program, every single thing that we do, every consultant that we hire, just because it happens to say Disney and it's fun to make Mickey Mouse puns, I don't think that's a particularly useful exercise for me.
Un petit mot en français sur ce qui s'est passé aujourd'hui avec le conseil. Est-ce qu'on est satisfait de les permis, mais aussi l'amendement?
Oui, je suis heureux que les changements qu'on a fait pour la loi aujourd'hui a raison. C'est le bon choix à faire pour les consommateurs et aussi pour les chauffeurs du taxi et du Uber. Je crois qu'il y aura plus de choix pour tout le monde.
Mais pour quand on parle des permis, par exemple, les 200 000 permis, vous étiez opposé à ça?
Je crois que le conseil a fait une erreur avec les permis, avec les 222 permis. Je crois que ce n'est pas le temps pour faire ça parce que c'est difficile pour les chauffeurs de gagner de l'argent, to just have a decent living.
Perfect. Et est-ce que je pourrais juste avoir un mot pour mes amis à Québec? Comment est-ce que vous allez faire pour respecter ce tarif-là du bitume?
C'est ça difficile. Je ne veux pas porter le chandail rouge et or. Je ne veux pas faire ça. Et peut-être j'en ai 2 chandails encore de l'Université de Laval. Et vous savez que je suis une ancienne de l'Université de Calgary, mais aussi j'ai étudié à l'Université de Laval. Donc c'est très très difficile pour moi. Parce que pour moi, je n'aime pas l'équipe de football de rouge et or. Mais je veux le faire. Mais je ne peux pas faire tout. How do you say that?
Tout faire
Le Paris. Je ne peux pas tout faire le Paris parce que il n'y a pas un oléoduc, il n'y a pas une pipeline. Donc, comment est-ce que je peux transférer le bitumen au Québec? Je ne peux pas le faire.